Good fellas, Sports TV. We up in this thing doing what we do. One time for the one time. Klay Thompson dropped 52 last night, 14 threes. Ugh, that was nasty. It's on the TV screen. But we back talking some boxing. And Jarrett Hurd has found his opponent for the Wilder card. And it's Jason Welborn from the UK. Not very good. I think he got like 6 losses. Got knocked out by Liam Smith early in his career, lost to Matthew Macklin. He just recently, I guess, got 2 split decisions back-to-back versus Tommy Langford. And this will be on the Wilder Fury undercard. When I say the Wilder Fury undercard, it's the worst undercard I ever seen in my life for a pay-per-view event that I can remember. It's terrible. Okay, Joe Joyce is fighting. Reportedly, this is all rumored. So let me say that rumored. But Joe Joyce is reportedly fighting Joe Hanks. I think Luis Ortiz both fight Joe Hanks at a point in time where he fought him. So they can't, and I say this for another video. So they can't really, if Wilder do good pay-per-view numbers, they can't put it and say it was the undercard. So, but Jarrett Hurd will be facing this guy. Apparently, we all know not Jason Welborn. We all know Jarrett Hurd had a shoulder injury. He wants to tune up, rush shoulder, get his shoulder right, and make sure it work well. He said he wanted to fight a right-handed fighter. I believe Jason Welborn is a right-handed fighter, if I'm not mistaken. And, yep, he's an orthodox fighter. So, Jarrett Hurd, he got to make sure his shoulder right. He fighting in L.A. And, he on the televised portion. So, you can't really, knock him because he had a shoulder injury. You want to make sure it's right. You don't want to be in there with a dog like a Charlo or J-Rock or a rematch of Lara and your shoulder not right. You tear your shoulder up. But at the end of the day, that's off the strength of my dime that I'm paying to see Wilder Fury. That the undercard, it's trash. And maybe that's the way they want it. And see how big of a draw Deontay Wilder is. I wish they can get a better opponent than Jason Welborn, but I understand the method behind this, dog. You obviously want Jarrett Hurd to get healthy. I'm glad he's back in the ring. But we know what this is going to be. It's going to be a body bag unless his shoulder's severely injured and he has to retire in the ring. Hopefully that won't be the case. But like I say, man, I haven't seen the guy fight. He could be tough as nails. They could produce a fight of the year candidate. But like I said, if this fight only go 1 or 2 rounds, how's that helping your shoulder? I think they should have found a better opponent. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're gonna put it on pay-per-view. Don't tune up. They got 3 tune-ups on the undercard on the Wilder undercard. Okay, 3 tune-ups reportedly. Man, Luis Ortiz is fighting. Somebody. I can't remember the hell he fighting. He fighting somebody, and then he fighting Travis Coffin. Excuse me. Then Joe Joyce is fighting Joe Hanks, and then I think the co-feature may be this Jarrett Hurd fighting Jason Welborn. So off the strength of my whatever $50 to $100 they're gonna be paying for this pay-per-view, I'm not sitting through this undercard. I'm sorry, unless I absolutely have nothing to do. I'm not sitting through it, bro. I might check the Jarrett Hurd fight out because I like Jarrett Hurd as a fighter. But other than that, even if you were to go to this fight, are you rather be in the concourse, meeting fighters and chopping it up with people that and you might as well just stay outside the arena until the main event come on. This is a slap in the face, and this Steven Espinoza, man, you gotta learn. All these dudes is the same type of person. When it comes to Oscar, De La Hoya, Bob Arum, for the most part, they got the same traits. Steven Espinoza got up on Boxing Scene, did an interview live, and said this was going to be a super stack undercard. And I think most of the fights that they said was going to be here, like Santa Cruz, Russell, if that ever happened, which you probably won't. Mars and Tank, that will happen on another card. So some of the fights we want to see are going to happen on another card. But at the end of the day, they simply could have saved this card. They could have put Joe Joyce versus Luis Ortiz, and that would have did what it did. All right? They could have put Mars and Russell on this card, and that's all we need is two fights on the card. But they didn't do that. Like I say, man, the fans always gotta get the shit in the stick. Like we don't know what bullshit is and dog shit and cat shit is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, Jarrett Hurd could have tuned up on Showtime's time. All right, he got to tune up on regular Showtime's time. We would have tuned in, and he could have got a little homecoming fight at the crib. We've been happy. Don't tune up. Don't show tune-ups on our dollar, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't show these lopsided fights on our dollar. But I understand they want to see how big of a pull Wilder is. Apparently, Wilder has some type of pull over who fights on this pay-per-view card. But, it's hard for me to say, okay, if they want $80, which I think is going to be a reduced price, if they want $80 to watch me see this card, man, they smoking crack. For real, man. Because that's a tough sell, man. Even to fly out to this fight, that's a tough sell because at the end of the day, Wilder and Fury couldn't be what it's supposed to be. What if we just go out there, it ain't epic, and Wilder just touch his chin and knock him out? Or what if Wilder fall out the ring and hurt his shoulder and Fury win? Just on some fluke shit. Then you going to be mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, that's one of the reasons I got away from pay-per-view. That's one of the reasons I got away from buying pay-per-views because, boxing's elite matches that come on pay-per-view are supposedly quote-unquote elite matches. They never really live up to the hype. And I always feel like, I could have did something else for my dollar. I could have went down to fucking Fishbones, could have went to J. Alexander's and got a nice steak meal for my $80, $100, whatever it may be. Could have bought out at the bar, even though that's something I don't do. You feel gypped and seeing I could have spent my money this way, that way. But one thing about it, Jarrett Hurd is always exciting. We probably know this guy from the UK ain't got no jaw, no defense. He probably be exciting as long as he lasts. So you might get a great fight. Just styles mesh, but it don't really mean junk, but Jason Welborn get the call, he step up, train hard, maybe jab Jarrett Hurd's shoulder a couple times and try to look up and get 2 belts, Super WBA belt and IBF champion Jarrett Hurd, and I wonder who he gonna come back against the next time around. I hope his shoulder feels all right. I understand this, but I don't really like it where he got to tune up on our dollar, especially if, it ain't shit else on the card to be seen. Okay? And you got Luis Ortiz and Travis Kaufman. I mean, Travis Kaufman ain't that good. Joe Hanks, I haven't seen him before. Taking on Joe Joyce. So Joe Joyce, he did all that calling out Luis Ortiz. They might as well have fought here. But I understand he trying to get acclimated to Abel Sanchez in the Summit Gym, so I really can't blame him for that. I thought we could do better for this card, but apparently we couldn't do better. But that's the positive. I like to look at the glass half full. Most of the time, the positive of this situation is the fact that if Wilder does a great pay-per-view, they can't say it was a stacked undercard. They can't say it was because this guy fought on this guy. He off the strength of his own muscle, inferior own muscle. They're gonna do a good pay-per-view card. It hasn't been no promotion for it. The All Access should be starting pretty soon, so maybe they could start promoting. The talk is starting to die about it. Well, it ain't really much to talk about in boxing right now, but the talk is starting to die about it. But I think when All Access come up, they'll revive it. It's close to the fight. Fans gonna be getting buyer's remorse, saying I ain't gonna buy it. And you fuck around and buy it. That's just how it is, man. So, like I said, man, I'm looking forward to Fury Wilder. Not so much looking forward to the undercard fights, and also on the non-televised portion, you could get Chris Arreola on that non-televised portion, from what I'm hearing. But yeah, it's a long way from seeing Rigondeaux return. Gary Russell, Santa Cruz, Adam Mars, Gervonta Tank Davis. They were said to be on this fight, on this card. Keith Thurman return was said to be on this fight card. There was a whole bunch of fights said to be on here. Earl Smith, Mikey Garcia was said to be on here. They killed that pretty quickly. So, yeah, man, it was an epic fall from grace for this undercard. But, it is what it is. You got to support the champ, Deontay Wilder. Real recognize real. So, I'm going to support the champ. I'm about his pay-per-view. First pay-per-view I bought in a long time. And hopefully I don't regret buying it. Hopefully it's a spectacular fight. Hopefully Fury performs. He's looking in good shape, training up in Big Bear. So salute to him. Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget we on Facebook, and we got the email popping off. So if you want to hit me up on either one of them, business inquiries, video requests, or whatever, if we want to make a donation, that link's in the description as well too. Shout out to everybody that's holding it down one time for the one time we continue to kick real boxing ish up early in the morning. Y'all know what it is. We gone.